we are doing trailer mods to my enclosed race trailer. So I've had this thing for a while. It's needed some work, some upgrades, some repairs for a while. Finally getting around to it. This is the first thing we're gonna fix, because in the summer heat, cranking this thing on and off the truck, not the most fun. Right now, with our jack setup, that one is bent and will not retract all the way. This one is fine, but it won't extend. You can't pull the pin and have that thing drop down. It's jammed up in there. So what I have to do is use a precarious stack of different amounts of brake rotors to get it relatively level and then jack it up. So as I said before, we're gonna be doing some major upgrades and repairs on my enclosed trailer. So I got this thing in a combo deal with the Dodge diesel truck. I bounced around between a few diesel trucks while using it. I wasn't really happy with any of them. I finally decided to embark on the adventure of building my own truck. I built my Common Earl Cummins swapped 08 F350. So we got that done. We started using the trailer itself again. It's been sitting for 8 months, so it's even dirtier than it was. And even when I was using it often, you know, it's needed some things for a while, but I've been conflicted. Part of me wanted to sell it, downsize a little bit. This is again a 36 foot to 28 foot floor space. I could definitely get away with 24 foot floor space, so 32 overall. That is an incredibly hard trailer size to find. It is nice having the triple axle on this one, and it is nice having the extra room. So after debating on it for quite a while, going back and forth, looking for trailers for sale, I've decided, at least for now, I'm gonna keep this one and we're gonna fix it up. So I've already somewhat fixed up the inside, painted it, added lights, I added those upper cabinets that had these lower cabinets. There's still some stuff we're gonna do in here, but it's in decent shape. The outside needs a lot of love, mainly just the color of the panels. But all the tires are new, axles are good, you know, most of the bodywork's in good shape. The trailer's really not that bad. So the plan would be to wrap it black, but getting ahead of myself. So we got this box of parts and we need to get them on the trailer. So the first thing, the most important thing, the biggest task, changing the jacks. So that is it fully retracted versus that one. So we're not only gonna be fixing by replacing the jacks, We're gonna be upgrading to electric jacks, adding a full electric system to the trailer, new lights, and quite a bit of things. You'll see as we go on. So let's get this box open, make sure these jacks are gonna fit. That is step number one. Foot plates. Switch number one. Switch number two. Hardware. Bolt-on brackets. So basically we've got 2 new jacks to go in, all the associated hardware, switches, everything. Currently we have this twin jack setup where basically the jacks are connected with this rod. So when you crank one jack, you crank the other. They're just welded to the sides, there and there. And then your handle goes on out here. See, I went with this system because the packaging was a lot smaller. I have a couple of concerns, like if one goes out, you know, that's gonna suck because there's no way to manually crank it, but just the packaging in the area. So I figured it was worth the gamble. They had a bunch of good reviews. So yeah, first thing we gotta do is cut these jacks out. The hardest part for sure is gonna be cutting the backside where they're welded. That is gonna be tricky, but we got a plasma cutter for that. Let's get to it. All right, I have resorted to other options. So I had to adjust my plan of attack a little bit. So the plasma cutter was even struggling on the front side here. On the back here, pretty much impossible because the torch does not fit between this bar, which is where one of the welds is, and you can't see what you're cutting and yada yada. Anyway, I spent a good bit of time trying to cut this out. You know, I was like, okay, maybe I can cut this one out. Not happening. I tried grinder, ground it. I tried a lot of things. So anyway, I abandoned that plan, and I don't necessarily love this plan, but it'll work. I basically ran the jack down, cut the foot off, jacked it back in, and then tack welded it in so it can't come down. And then we're going to use the old jack housing as our mounting point for the new jack. We just needed a little more sauce with the plasma cutter. She's going. Woo! Hell yeah. Successful, boys. I cannot tell you how happy I am that that worked out. I thought I was gonna have to do all this work just to end up with some janky finished product. Not doing it the way I wanted to, but we got it, boys. So now we gotta cut this side. Oh, this is gonna be a little less fun because we gotta lay in the dirt. We got the blanket for that. Sweet though, we got that one out. So either way, I'm stoked. You can see we smoked the moving blanket, but sacrificial lamb. Gotta do what you gotta do. Get the job done sometimes. So I'm stoked. I don't know if you guys can tell. Just me being an idiot. When I got the plasma cutter and used it a bunch, I did it on 120 on my bench, but I was plugged straight into 120. Here I had to use the extension cord, and I forgot that Ben, for his welder, has a 220 extension cord. And I was like, wait a second, let's just try it. It freaking works perfect. Don't be like me, don't be stupid. Don't use that 120 junk. I know this is wrong. Trust me, I know this is wrong. I was doing what I had to do. Didn't know this was an option. All right, anyway, back to work. I'm gonna finish this up. Got it. All right, we've now got both sides completely cut out. I'm gonna come back in here with a grinder, cut this edge all the way off on both sides, just clean it up. So here's what we've got for material. We need to cut 2 of these 1/8 inch by 3 inch plates to match the thickness of the lower portion, because there's no good way to get that off entirely. So we'll just match it so that the jack is level. And then these will be our standoff. So we'll need 4 of these, weld them side by side, and then weld the brackets to that. Start cutting. All right, sweet. It's gonna fit good. We just need to cut our 1 inch by 1 inch pieces to space it out enough to clear. All right, 1 bar welded in, plates welded in, weld the other bar in, and we can actually fit the jack. Not too bad. Just kind of awkward to lean in here and get to it, but not too bad. Got my flat bar and my 2 1x1 pieces welded in all the way down. So those are the right distance apart for our brackets for the jacks itself. Welded in super stoutly. Lots of welds, stitch welded it. Seems like it will hold, I don't have any doubt. So yeah, now we just need to get the jack in place, figure out exactly where we want it, tack it on, pull it out, weld the brackets, put it back in, and we're done. Alrighty, 1 side down, 1 to go, as far as fabricating and welding goes. But super stout, happy with it. It's the same on this side. Well, in typical Florida fashion, it's starting to rain. It's only drizzling so far. So 10 by 10 tent will keep us dry for now. If it starts getting real wild, obviously we're not gonna weld in the pouring rain, but try to get some more work done. And now it's pouring. Pouring down rain. Typical Florida, the sunshine state. It's like this every summer. You're getting misted. All right, I'm gonna cut the pieces, and then when it stops raining, I'm gonna finish welding them in. I already got the plate edition welded in, so I just gotta weld the 1x1 jack, weld that in, and then we're gonna start moving on to getting our batteries in. We gotta build a tray. Got 2 of them, kind of overkill, but you know, I don't wanna have to deal with the battery not having enough juice to lift the thing up or down. I wanted to make sure we were good to go. And then we're gonna add this into our standard electrical system on the trailer, and we'll be able to use things like the interior lights without the truck hooked up, which will be super, super nice when we're at events where I unhook and leave the trailer parked all weekend. So I'm excited for this. We can add more stuff off the 12-volt system to use in the trailer while it's parked. So Anyway, hopefully this rain doesn't last too long and we can get back to hustling. Mount number 2 done and dusted, finished up. So we can now throw the jacks back in, and then we get to start building our battery box, which is going to go somewhere in this general vicinity. We're going to build the battery box around the batteries, fit it in there, and then attach it to the trailer. So attaching to the trailer will be secondary. I know that if it's built around the batteries, it should work to attach it to the trailer. So we'll build it on the bench here. Let's get to it. I'll just weld it out. Weld it to stable a little. Done and done. Yeah, MIG welding is just so freaking easy when you're used to TIG welding. It feels like using a caulk gun. So simple. But all the welds came out nice looking. Ow. So we'll let that cool down, start fitting it in the trailer. Well, the rain looks like it's coming back, so we gotta at least get the welding done. We can do the wiring because we kind of protect it under here, but not the welding. Test fitted this thing. The sizing works out perfect. Basically, I just need to figure out how long the piece going down needs to be. So we'll call it 7. Good news is we got our welding in before it rained. Bad news is, in my haste, I held this side up, tacked it. I held this side up what I thought was even, and it's a tiny bit lower than the other side, so it's slightly slanted to the left, but I mean, really, in the grand scheme of things, it's a battery box and an enclosed trailer. It's not a huge deal. But yeah, I just built these little supports down to this frame. Boom, boom, welded, welded, welded. It's super stout. I would touch it to show you. Give her the old shake test everyone does. It doesn't prove anything, but it's painted. I just painted it. So we'll let that dry for a minute, and then we'll toss the batteries in, and then we can start wiring up the jacks, and then we can see how they work. Very exciting stuff, boys. It's crazy. It's more spacious in here now. I mean, I guess when the batteries are in here, it'll be a little more cramped, but it's basically more spacious in this area now with batteries and electric jacks than it was with the manual system. So, super happy with that. Oh, the rain's been holding out. Batteries are in. Paint is probably not super dry, but dry enough. Nice, tight fit up. Like, they are super snug in there. The height worked out pretty well. They're just right above this level here. So now it's time to wire it up. We gotta figure out where we're gonna put our switches. Our fuse box is up there. So we also need to wire from the fuse box down to here so that the truck charges the battery, and then that should also tie us into the inside, so like our lights will work from the batteries as well. Like I said, I need to wire up the switches and everything else. Just whipping up a switch mount. Gotta have a hole for the wiring, and then they mount to the face of it. We'll mount the switches to it, then we can wire them up. All right, I got the switches mounted up right here in the corner. This is a really good spot for them because when I've got the truck backed in here, I can get to them while standing completely outside of it and watch and make sure, you know, the ball's lining up or that it's coming off the ball when I'm going up. So I think this is a good spot for them. Bracket came out solid, super tight on there. Again, the shake test, that doesn't really prove anything. But anyway, some people will probably be like, well, why'd you put them there? You can get to them, someone will steal your trailer. Well, my plan is to hide a battery disconnect, which I should have on here anyway, have that locked away in this locked cabinet or somewhere else. And then basically, if I'm gonna park the trailer somewhere where I'd be concerned about it, I can just kill the batteries, lock that away, and the switches are useless, just as good as having the switches hidden or locked away themselves. But if I don't need to do that, then I can easily get to my switches when I'm unhooking and hooking up my trailer. So to me, it's a good compromise. So anyway, switches are done. Time to wire them up, see how it works. This is exciting stuff, boys. Alrighty, got it loosely wired up. I've still got to go through and, you know, clean up the wiring, zip tie it, P-clamp it, all that good stuff. I just have one jack to each battery. I am gonna tie the batteries together again and tie them into the trailer slash the truck. I'll probably add a solar charger too, but anyway, yeah, we get to try them out. I verified that they work, but we're gonna try to actually lift the trailer up now. Not the ideal scenario because this one needs to go way higher than that one. This one's on concrete. That one is on sand, but you know, we gotta try it out, right? The one nice thing about this setup is we can control each jack individually. So I'll get them both to where they're flush. That's about as high as we need to go. Go a tad higher. Ah, sweet, man. That is amazing. That is so much better. Oh, look, now I can almost stand under it. So much better than manually jacking it up. A million times better. It's actually a lot quicker under load than I thought. The first test, I was like, man, these things move slow. But obviously it's the gear reduction for when it's loaded. They lift it, no problem. I mean, they didn't even struggle. So battery should be more than sufficient. We can manually override. From what I understand, we can take that cap off and get to like a manual way to crank it. But that would not be fun. So I've got to clean up this wiring. And again, I've got to do the rest of the wiring that I talked about. I'm going to tidy up this wiring tonight just so it doesn't get like snagged and ripped out when I hook back up to the trailer. But the rest of the stuff, we're going to have to save it for a part 2. I didn't want to do that to you guys. I didn't want to do it to myself, but that was a long project, and that is definitely the most physically demanding project we were going to do. So I am really, really glad to have that done. That has been something I've wanted to do for a while, and I was like, man, that's going to be horrible. And it really wasn't bad at all. I mean, it was tiring and physical, but like, it all went pretty smooth, aside from the cutting aspect. So glasses are probably so dirty. Anyway, yeah, got some more stuff to order, and we're going to be doing a lot more upgrades to the trailer. Now that we got kind of the foundation done, there's a lot of other stuff I want to do, so you'll see that in part 2. But for now, it's going to be it for this one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Goodbye, guys.